The message kids get is that they can't play Harry Potter unless they have an official Harry Potter wand. Or they can't play some hero unless they have all of the paraphernalia that goes with it.
Straight from the movie comes Jack Sparrow's gear. Battle with the Clash and Flash sword with lights and sound effects. Fire the electronic pistol. Be Jack Sparrow.
And in a way, they're being told their imagination isn't good enough. It's not good enough to pick up a stick and turn it into a wand. You have to have the real wand.
It's, okay, the newest, greatest robot toy that does everything for you and you don't have to play with it anymore. It just plays by itself. You watch it. Great, and at a cost. I don't even put the thing together anymore. It's no model making, no thinking, no coloring, no painting it. It's just all ready for me and ready to go.
The fundamental message that I need something outside of myself in order to play is really harmful and tragic, because it starts to take play out of children's hands. So the kids need more and more and more in order to be able to play and in order to be happy.
We're creating a future generation of super consumers. Rather than consuming less, our children will consume even more than the baby boom generation or the generation Y or X. What does that mean for our future, for our well-being, and for their well-being?
40 times as many young people are now being diagnosed with bipolar disorder than 13 years ago.
Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Almost 4.5 million children in this country have been diagnosed with ADHD.
Doctors are writing a growing number of prescriptions for antidepressants for children, as many as 8 million a year.
1 in 3 children born in the year 2000 will develop diabetes.
For the first time in decades, the rate of hypertension in children is rising.
This generation of children is the heaviest in American history. An estimated 16% of all children and teenagers are overweight, 4 times as many since the 1960s. Life expectancy of kids today will be shorter than that of their parents, the first such decline in modern times.
It's kind of like we're saying in our society, we don't care about children. For all the rhetoric about kids, we're treating them as one thing. Buying power consumers, and no matter what they buy, we want them to buy, even if it's going to kill them.
The sick child, as view a consumer, has replaced the healthy child of sports, play, and make-believe.
People who are really smart, who've done a lot of research on this, are beginning to say, wait a minute, there seems to be some association here between advertising and marketing and all these problems.
I designed a study which looked at children's involvement in consumer culture, and what I found was the more media a child used, both television and other forms of media, the more likely they are to score high on a depression scale and an anxiety scale.
And we are seeing problems that we used to never see until adulthood now in children as young as 6 or 7, such as type 2 diabetes. Diabetes is a terrible disease with lifelong implications. You die young, you die miserable.
This is one of the very most important public health problems in the United States, if not the most important public health problem in the United States.
There is going to be a health care crisis, a concrete health care crisis.
There's no way we can really make childhood healthy in this country without a government effort. We've done it in other areas. We do it in the area of child safety. We have laws about putting helmets on kids, seatbelt laws, tobacco marketing to kids. But somehow we think it's okay to make children fair game for marketers who just want to profit from them, irrespective of the impacts on their health and well-being.
The marketing industry spin is that it's all up to parents and that parents should be the sole gatekeepers.
What about the parents, though? The parents are responsible for the conduct of the child.
Anything a child does.
Isn't it a parent's responsibility?
Isn't it the parents' responsibility to monitor what their kids are reading and watching?
Isn't the choice of what to buy and feed kids up to parents, ultimately?
Responsible adults would say that, of course, parents are responsible. But if children are not with their parents 24 hours a day, if they're in school, and the school is full of advertising and marketing, if they go to daycare and the daycare center is full of advertising and marketing, if someone's inviting them over to a slumber party and there's a surreptitious selling or market research going on there, I think it's asking an awful lot of parents to take all the responsibility.
In fact, the FTC and the FCC's role is to protect children when the marketplace isn't protecting them. And we have a situation now where those agencies are not fulfilling the role that they actually were given when airwaves, for example, were turned over to private corporations. So things are very out of balance.
We're the only industrialized country in the world that really doesn't have a policy about this. I have consulted and spoke to people in Ireland, in the Scandinavian countries. They don't permit this type of advertising. But usually, when there is any type of debate about this, the industry brings out the First Amendment rights, okay, the Constitution. I say they're entitled to the Constitution, but they're also entitled to the shame. Shame on them. This is our future, and they know that this is wrong.
We need, in a proactive, forward-looking way as a society, to say, how is this changing us? How is this changing our environment? How is this changing our society? And do we want this?
This is a lot more than about selling products and services. If we care about nourishing the human spirit, if we care about human relationships, we've got to care about this issue.